To make things easier, I've created a matrix of speed and distance, not a continuum as such, although please do treat this as a continuum. I've divided lines between these to explain which I think are going to be appropriate. Now you may disagree. I've put two X's in this box, in these areas here, and you might think of an example that I haven't been able to. So even though I've put an X in these, I don't think that you should view this as a limiting factor. Let me have an explain of this and then see if this helps you. And don't worry, there is a version of this below in the downloads. And before you go and look at the other videos of speed, distance, etc., if you print this thing off, then you'll find that this will help you just to visualize where you think that you could go right or perhaps could go wrong. So what we've got is, we've got on this axis here, we've got speed, slow motion, 1 times or normal, and fast or super speed. Super speed can be anything from 1.5 times up. On the distance side, we've got close, medium, and far. I shall explain. So if we are looking at slow motion and we are close, we would be looking at the joint or a limb perhaps, and that would be the limit of what we'd be looking at there. If we're looking at close distance and we're looking at normal speed, we're going to be looking at a joint or a limb because we're too close to see the whole body, for example. You would not, in my opinion, although I may be wrong, use fast speed observation when you're close up. It's just too much information to process. Now you might be able to think of an example where that is appropriate. For me, I can't think of one, so please do let me know, and if there is something that you come up with that I haven't thought of, I will gladly refilm this and put that in that section. Same with this one over here. Medium speed and slow motion, again we're looking at the limb or the whole body. We are now far enough back because we're at medium distance to look at the whole body. When we go at normal speed at medium distance, we're looking at the whole body or at the technique of the whole body. And if we go to medium distance and we're going fast, we are looking at the rhythm of the performance to see if it's smooth, if it's jerky, etc. And fast speed will allow us to do this. Now, let's have a look at far. If we're looking at far distance, it's pretty unlikely that we're going to be looking at slow motion from a far distance. You're going to be too far away. It doesn't serve much in the way of purpose. Again, my opinion. I'm sure you can probably think of some examples where you might want to do this. By all means, send them to me and I'll gladly put those in to a new version of this. If we are looking at normal speed and far distance, we're looking at the techniques, such as, we'll cover this, but let's say, for example, you're looking at a long jumper running up and taking off. You'd want to do that from a far enough distance back that you're able to maintain the correct observing angle. And then if we're looking at fast speed from a far distance, at that we are looking either again at the rhythm or we're looking at an entire race. This matrix, like I've said, is below. You'll notice that angles don't come into this yet. I haven't worked in angles for this yet, but again, there is a limiting factor. It is mathematical, but I'll keep the maths simple. But for now, that is a really simple way of figuring out exactly how fast should the observation be, and what distance should you be. That's a really simple way of explaining that.